Previously on HomeBrew Detritus.
But here's the problem is because you took a very sensible approach and turned it into the fact that now me and Kevin are the people that are fucking splitting the party and lagging behind. So, no, that's good. That's fine.
But it's just his legs are dangling out as the mouth begins to chew.
Holy shit! Corrupt existence, rotting soul without beauty, death your sole reward.
God, Kevin, I'm sorry. I just did max damage one more time. That is another 8 damage. The crew go investigate that next episode. Tune in to find out.
Oh, yay! Somebody saved the dude, though.
Definitely get it pointed out.
I mean, you think about it, it's a sleeve that you have to strap down onto your hand.
What, your new girlfriend?
That was a pocket vagina joke.
I fuck tubes. You can't stop me.
What are they called? Ona holes?
Fucking weeb.
I know a good way to confuse Amazon if you're ever interested. You order a Captain Spaulding bobblehead, a flesh tube, and the entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series inside a turtle van. Next time you get on Amazon, they're like, well, we don't know what you want. Pie? Want pie this time? We don't know.
Around when I was 7, my mother let me go roller skating with my cousins and their uncle, who is now a convicted pedophile.
That explains quite a bit.
No, he died. No. See, my tits were too big because I was a fat kid, so he wasn't interested.
Well, yes, but it still explains your sense of humor. You were the one that was turned away. You were not a sexy enough child.
That's so harsh.
That's not what the internet people
If he
say.
didn't touch you, that means you weren't good enough.
Nah, he had a thing for him.
Jesus.
That story's
Yeah,
going
I
in
thought-
my stand-up. I tell my mom that all the time. You let me go roller skating with a pedophile.
That could be the name of the stand-up.
Yeah. Be roller skating with a pedophile. The Michael Gano story. See, that's why I never play rogues. I'm just too dummy thick. But clapping my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
You know, -4 stealth check because of that ass clap when you walk. If there's just a hint of masturbation in the joke, I will probably giggle a little.
I mean, jerking off's funny.
Hey, Coker, if I'm involved, there's more than a hint of masturbation.
I don't ever want you to be involved in my hints of masturbation, Kevin. That's normally, Kevin, I will give you credit. Normally,
That's a good one.
if I want to last longer in the sack, I think of your face.
Hey, what the hell?
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Didn't realize it was somebody else watching.
You were all two on a fucking camera. You didn't realize?
No, I don't even know what you're doing.
Your son's a terrible person.
I'm beating my dick, Mom. Get out.
Unbelievable. Got my drink.
That's how you teach parents to knock.
Unbelievable. Next time, tell somebody before I walk in front of the damn camera.
And you and your mom share drinking habits. You both love those wine coolers.
Yeah, they're fucking good.
Hey, Diet Coke tonight for a little while.
For a little while.
Y'all
I
can't
mean, I'm gonna drink. I'm just not gonna pre-game drink. That's the problem last time. Kind of snowballed on me.
Got out of hand real quick.
Yeah, I can't get drunk if I wanted to right now. I had beans and rice for dinner.
I mean, you shit yourself if you drink.
You can still get drunk. Girly drink drunk. Girly drink drunk.
I don't give a shit.
I had some of those frozen, the dailies frozen.
Yes,
ones.
I remember those.
I think I still got one left in the freezer.
Oh, those come in the bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best thing about those is you can just pop the top off, grab one end, and
Yeah, it's like a Go-Gurt, but it's
Yeah.
alcohol.
goon bag that thing.
I don't know if you can say that.
I'm just really surprised that anything named Go-Gurt has made it so
It's
far in
amazing.
life.
My kids, I spend so much money on Go-Gurts.
Yeah.
I was like, I took a
Fantastic.
hard line with those when they first came out. My little brother and my little sisters wanted us to get them when we went shopping. I was like, nope, it is yogurt, and yogurt is already portable.
Yep.
Sorry.
Use a spoon.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't use a spoon when I eat yogurt. I just
You can use your
They're
finger.
twice-
go for it.
They're twice as expensive
Yeah,
and less
Just
yogurt in the
deep throat that
tube.
shit, huh?
exactly.
I have to
Yeah,
remember to
perfect.
not slur my speech when I talk.
Rubber baby bumping
Well,
bumpers.
not pre-game drinking helps with that, Matt.
Yeah, I had fun the last session.
I will say, as someone who
It
had to
was
listen to
fun.
those episodes multiple times, Matt, you were the drunkest, but you also seem to have more fun than everybody else. So
Yeah,
I
you
had
were the most fun.
A blast.
I think.
you had fun. Maybe we should all take a page out of your book. I've got all this liquor up here next to me.
Hey, sign me up.
Okay. 3 days ago, a heavy steel door swings open. A panting humanoid figure limps into the dark room and slams the door behind him. The figure reaches a bloody hand up to remove a dark cloth mask. The face underneath is haggard and bruised. Father Sulman tosses the cloth mask on the counter behind him and with the same hand hurriedly unclasps his dark leather armor, letting it fall to the floor. His other hand occupied by a small box, he braces with his free arm on a railing and begins to climb a short staircase, chanting to himself over and over again, the circle, get to the circle. He pushes the trap door open and stumbles into his own bedroom. So close, he thinks weakly, his hand reaching for the bedroom door, then stops. His head cocks in an unnatural angle. His hand falls to his side. Too weak to scream aloud, his brain fills with horror. No, she can't! He looks down to the box in his hand, and a feminine whisper purrs into his mind. I did. Sick red light fills the room, and you see two hands come to rest on the father's shoulders from behind. Your God has failed you, Father. The last word a spit more than spoken. That night, a good man died. Present time. The shock of the battle wearing off. The team battered and bruised, some more than others. Cullen turns to see in the corner of the room a trap door. A small brown mouse hurriedly scrambles under the nearby table. What do you do?
I will point it out to the group. Say, I think there's another area over here we haven't checked.
We watch Razbad die.
He's not dead.
No, I know he got healed. It
When
was
we
just
last
funny.
left off, I
Yeah.
believe,
No, I stabilized him.
Oh, I
Yeah.
poke him with the end of my glaive, and they're like, "Is he
Does
dead?"
does anybody have something to help him with? All right, fine. I'll go over there and let's see, cure light's a 1d8, right? It's 1d8 plus 2 for the level. Yeah, that's the best I can do, and I only got one of those.
Don't worry. If this doesn't do enough, I'll heal some too.
So
Try not to use all my spells in one combat. Thanks, Kevin.
hey,
If you guys are paying any attention, you will notice that Akage kind of takes a step back when you start doing your somatic and verbal components to spells,
yeah.
and he kind of looks at you with a side eye as you heal Razbad.
I grin and wiggle my fingers at you a little bit. Ooh.
How much?
Kevin, you get 4 hit points back.
I'm still at -1.
No, you're
Jesus.
not. I stabilized you, so you should be back to.
Stabilize just stops you from bleeding out and dying.
Oh well, in that case, I will use one of my cure lights, my divine casting, to do the same thing.
Yeah, I rolled a 2. Sorry, Kevin.
So there are two of you that do magic.
Yep. You get 6. You get 8 back from me.
8.
More of a kind of a trick that makes you feel better.
And I believe everybody in the party does magic except for Akage.
First off, if you would have read the story backstory, divine healing is okay.
Mm.
So when
Oh,
you start,
I'm not. It's got nothing to do with the Yarnum backstory. This is 100% Akage's personal superstitions / prejudices.
Yeah, they're probably warranted in my case. But
so how much are you up by, Kevin? Now?
I'm up. I am +7, and I thank you. Am I coming up at 3rd level?
No, we're still level 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody said to level up.
That was a subtle little level up.
Yeah,
We level them up.
It's no problem on Path Builder. It's super easy to
Go back a level? Yeah.
Whenever it happens, you can just switch it over.
Yeah, I had my character built for like the next 5 levels, ready to go.
That's very optimistic.
I don't.
Anyway, I think that's enough healing for now.
Yeah, you
I
should be
have
fine.
18 hit points.
I can give you a cure light as well if you want.
3 healers.
I thought we discussed this last time.
Yeah.
So that's 9 points, right?
All right, that's 16 out of 18.
Okay. So
That's
you're
all you're
good.
getting.
And
I
that's
like
one
that
of
Akage
those.
is standing in this room back watching several people run over and just rub hands over the orc as his wounds close.
He is extremely uncomfortable.
So
It's
when I had y'all all make characters in secret, I didn't realize how scared y'all would be of me running, and how many of you would make sure that y'all had healing characters for this.
Well,
I'm scared of you running ever since that nerd bowl, and then you drop the brick, and then here comes an ooze.
Yeah.
yeah,
Crap.
After
That was dirty.
the next time we rest, I will not have healing spells, but I took one at the start just in case you were an asshole.
Akage feels like the only clothed guy at the orgy.
Right.
Yeah, the best
Well,
thing
now-
to do is
Well,
disrobe.
just take it off then.
There you go.
Take
Jump
it
in.
off.
Now that I know all you guys are fucking casters, I cast light and head towards the hatch. Ping.
Yeah, somebody needs
Okay.
to check it for traps.
So that is where we are now. Okay.
We're inside of a haunted house. We just fought an eyeball.
So
You're spooked by the guy that can
backstory
use
for
a
people
light.
listening. The town is superstitious against casters. So the fact that most of this party is casters probably suggests in their backstory how they ended up working for the order, and they're able to stay in town.
Nothing bad will happen of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll live forever.
But,
Be fine.
But I will take a perception at that trap door.
okay.
I would also like
Well,
to
it's
look.
called a trapdoor. I think it's a trap.
I got a 18.
Okay. It's one of those. It's basically Evil Dead trap door in the middle of the floor, but it's off into the corner.
Groovy.
Yeah, groovy. Perception, you can see that it doesn't look like it latches closed from this side. You do see some dried blood and the faint outline of a handprint, as if somebody, a bloodied hand, pushed themselves out of the trap door a few days ago.
All right. Well, is there like so I'll open it.
Just to handle you. Okay.
Yeah,
But,
pop it open.
Would you like me to head in first?
Nah,
See in
it's
the
fine.
dark.
Oh, wait, can you
remember.
just-
I think just me and Raz can see in the dark, right?
Well,
Nah,
if he
it's
casts
fine.
light, then
Yeah.
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 Ding.
I'm fine. I mean, it wouldn't hurt probably one of us with dark vision 60 feet to peer down, since the torch only, or that light only works 20 feet. Just saying, as a precaution, since we just.
All right. Well, I'll open it and then step back.
All right. Can I quietly go down?
yeah, give me a stealth check.
+6 from stealth gives me a 16.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So Amon, you opened the door for him, and that light kind of spilled in, and you step back to let Razbad take the lead. Razbad, as you peer down and quietly begin making your way down this short wooden staircase, you see it's just a tiny cellar. There's not a lot of space down there. It's maybe a 15-foot kind of oddly shaped, not square, but roundish room at the bottom of the staircase. There's a nice desk. The floors are solid concrete or stone. You can see where there's the desk has been lifted off the ground a little bit. It's on its own little like concrete podium, and there's grates at the bottom of the floor, so it looks like, you know, being this close to the ocean, so that water probably comes in and out of here and then drains out, but it only comes up but so high. To the right of the desk, there's a large steel door that's closed. At the very foot of the staircase, you see like a crumple of leather armor, some dark cloth, and then more blood stains. So it's just the desk, the cloth, and the door that you really see down here.
I'll call up that I got a door down here, and walk up to the door and test the doorknob.
It is unlocked.
He is very brave.
I'm gonna.
Is it clear down there, Raz?
It's clear. I've got a door. It's not locked.
I will also head down.
Okay.
Does it look like there's enough room for me to swing a glaive in here?
Just barely if you were by yourself. Like it's kind of a cramped, small little room.
I'll hang on to it still, just in case.
Holler if you need us there, blacksmith.
That's a natural one on that perception check at the door. So I have no idea if it's trapped.
I'm gonna go ahead and open the door and look at what I see on the other side.
Okay. You swing the door open, and immediately a nasty funk smell assaults your nostrils. You and Akage. It's a sewagey, misty, saltwater smell, kind of all combined into itself. And as your dark vision peers out, you realize that this goes into, indeed, looks like the sewer system for Yardom.
Can I do a retroactive look at that handprint?
Sure.
Does it look human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we search the rest of the house?
Yeah, the rest of the house was pretty well explored.
Okay, I was making sure we hit everything.
It's just the 2 rooms, right?
It was the
So
2
there we-
rooms and now the cellar room.
Okay.
All
There
right,
is a pathway to the sewers down here. We may need to proceed further.
All right.
I'm gonna take a perception check. Just really, I obviously smell is blocked, but trying to sense out or feel if there's anything in here, or if it's just a sewage dump type room. Rolled a 17 and perception of 7, so that would be a 24.
Okay, well, you kind of peer both ways. You could go either left or right. There's a small kind of wooden, moist, moldy wooden staircase that goes from the doorway into the sewer system. And it's one of those typical like stone walkway, sludge, stone walkway, cobblestone tunnels, and just a slow moving filth that's leaving the city and heading out to the ocean.
Just pooping in the ocean.
Yeah, just straight doo brown back in town.
Sounds like Charleston.
Yeah.
Now,
But you don't sense anything or see anything outside of that. The scuffle of rats, you know, maybe something a little bigger like a cat or something huddled in the darkness past your dark vision, but you don't catch anything offhand. However, with that 24, you do realize that moldy staircase, if stepped on improperly, would break way, and you catch the glint of a tiny hole beneath the staircase. When you peer down to look, you can see that this is actually a fairly simple trap. If somebody was to step on this and not know where to step, their foot would go through into small spikes that are hidden underneath the staircase.
Ow, that's just wicked in the sewer too, so you know it's getting infected.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know that I originally suggested that we all come down because we have access to the sewers. But I am rethinking that because why are we here? It was to find the father. Yes?
I concur. I think that we found the father, right? We weren't exactly charged with what happened to him, correct?
Right.
Yes.
And there's blood headed this way.
And also remind you there are other things in the room, the cellar that you haven't explored yet. There was the clothes on the ground.
I'm gonna go ahead and close this door, and let's keep checking this out.
Oh,
Akage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe we have no obligation to go further into the sewers unless we find something that leads us there.
I meant to check out that tiny box I had. What would that be, a perception?
So the tiny box, you can easily pry it out of the second corpse now of Father Solman. You open up and it's got strange kind of runic divine symbols on it. You can give me a knowledge religion check.
That is, I believe, a 20. Not familiar yet. Oh, that's a 17.
Okay. They look like the same kind of symbols that would be used for a circle of protection, but like smaller, compacted, and more honed. But when you really examine it, you can see that some of the etchings have been like burnt out almost. And when you open the box itself, it's just full of a really fine powder, like a glass powder.
Put that in my pocket.
I would like to look around the cellar.
Okay.
See what I can find. 12?
Okay, so you see the same things I told him. There's the leather armor and the cloth mask on the ground there. The desk is kind of like a regular kind of work desk, but it's got a some kind of old book maybe on front of it. It looks like a book, but it's been wrapped. It's been wrapped in like vellum.
Is there anything that I recognize from the cloth mask or the armor?
You with the perception, I mean, other than the armor itself being like leather and kind of finely made, you don't pick anything up off of it. The face mask, when you look at it, it's weird because it looks like a hood that would cover the whole face. Like there's no eye holes or anything.
Razbad, do you think we should take this back to task?
Well, first I'm gonna start mumbling the words to detect magic.
Okay.
Give a sweep around this.
That is not an answer to my question. You are just mumbling to
We
yourself.
must have all the information we can receive. Then we'll make a move from there.
You do detect some magic coming from the clothes that Akage is holding. Mainly the mask. Because of your profession with armor smithing and blacksmithing and stuff, you can tell that the leather armor that he's holding is actually exceptionally fine make, but is not magical. However, it is, like I said, pricey.
That'd be great for a rogue, right?
That, I can tell you, is a fine piece of armor. Someone put some serious time into it, curing it quite well, quite skilled hand.
Lots of
But
piss.
that mask, that has magics in it. And yes, I think that needs to go.
I tossed it to you. As soon as you said that mask has magics, I tossed it to you.
This is all down in the little room, right?
Yeah.
So can I hear them talking about it?
Yeah, I'm sure you're at the top of the staircase listening down. I mean, they're not but, a few feet away from you down.
I'll yell down to, hey, toss that up here.
All right, I'll walk to the trapdoor and toss it up to him, and
Don't make me do a dex check.
bring whatever else you think might be interesting. Anything in that desk?
I will search through the desk as I'm also grabbing the book.
Okay. We'll go to Cullen, who has the mask now. I'm assuming you wanted to do like a
Spellcraft.
spellcraft on it. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 14, so not good.
Good enough for this.
Oh.
The mask, you can tell, has a faint divination magics on it.
Okay.
And with that knowledge, you realize that it could enhance, even though it covers the face, it could enhance sight somewhat. You can't tell with that check, but you can see that's the direction the mask is taking.
Do I know with that with it being divination, it's probably not evil, right?
No, you're not picking up any evil off of it.
So I'll who's got so I know me and Kevin can see in the dark. I'll hand it to Sonder. Say, hey, some kind of divination magic, something to do with sight. You want to try it on and see if it does anything? It's safe.
Try it.
Okay, you're gonna slip the mask on then?
Yes.
Okay. You slip the mask on and realize that your sight is enhanced somewhat. You kind of play around with looking in different areas and this and that, and then finally you're like, oh, and you walk towards where the bedroom was and that curtain, and you close the curtain so that there's no light. And as soon as the light is absent from your area, you begin to see in the dark with black and white vision. For all intents and purposes, this mask grants the wearer 30 feet of dark vision.
Nice.
Oh, that's neat.
Very nice. Cool. So I say, yeah, this mask works. It works as night vision mask. I'll hold on to it if it doesn't.
You can, but we have to turn everything over to Shrimp at the end of this mission, I believe.
So
Unless you're okay with...
Normally in this town, magic items are confiscated by the Protectorate and kept away from civilian use. So this is something that when Task comes back to ask how your investigation has gone, you probably should tell him about it. But I mean, you can always discuss amongst yourselves whether or not to keep it secret for your use later on.
Could I redact my statement and just say, this mask seems totally perfectly normal.
You could do that. Everybody already detected magic on this. We know it's magical. And I will tell you, I'm fine with, trying to withhold it, but just from personal experience.
I think
they'll
as
probably
long as
take
we
it.
approach him with the fact that it would be useful to the group, he would be interested in keeping it in the group to help the group survive.
Yeah. So everybody pretend to not be able to see in the dark when we go back to meet with him.
That's all arguments you could have with him, but you have a magical item, and normally in this town, those kind of things are taken, especially something of a secretive nature like this.
Can I ask? I mean, was that something that we would think that Father Solomon should have had legally in the town?
No. Without a shadow of a doubt that something like this would be illegal for someone to have.
It is also unlikely that the priest would have finely made leather armor like this.
Well,
all I can say is it would fetch a good price to any traveler coming
Was
through my
Father
pawn shop.
Solomon known to have been a warrior or fighter of any type in a previous life or anything? Any stories that he told?
The most that y'all knew about him was that he was basically a walking preacher. He would go house to house, spreading the word, listening to people in their troubles. Like he was from an outsider's perspective, he was a man of the cloth, no more, no less.
Walk the walk and talk the talk.
While they're doing that, though, could I head up back to that circle of protection?
You can. I would like to get to Akage was searching the desk.
Yes.
So the desk has some tools in the drawers. If you're going through those, like just leatherworking tools, sewing utensils, medical things like bandages and gauze, stuff like that. Just a lot of little odd ends for somebody who might take care of their own armor and take care of their own wounds if they were to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The journal, though, well, now that you know it's a journal, so if you open it, I guess the book-shaped object that's wrapped in vellum on the top of the desk, is that something that you unwrap to look at?
I will bring that upstairs to unwrap it in the light. So yeah, if that's all I find in the desk, then I will take the book upstairs.
Okay.
Perhaps you would like to look around a little more, Razbad, to see if there's anything else, but I am satisfied in what I have found.
I'll give one more perception check to see if anything else pops out to me.
Scream like a child if you need help. And I go upstairs.
And then can we go back? Let me go back just a second. That mask, I was wrong. It's a little better than what I said, and it has some other things to it. So the mask is a magical item. It grants the wearer dark vision of 40 feet while in dim light, or 60 feet while in total darkness.
There you go. So it's true dark vision.
It is, however, a -3 perception if worn in normal light.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a move action to like lift and drop?
You'd have to equip it or unequip it, and that's standard action.
That's standard, yeah. But when we're in a sewer,
Right. If you're going to sneak into a dark place, it'd be useful. Right. And we can definitely use it on our current mission.
Mm-hmm.
And a 19 to sweep this.
Well, Noob was doing
under this study, I guess it was for him.
The cellar, you mean?
Yes, the cellar.
Yeah, so the cellar, you'll be down there searching that. You'll end up not uncovering anything else. Amon, you head back into the other room with the circle of protection. What was your intent there?
You said there were some runes missing from the box?
They weren't missing. They just looked like they had been burnt, like the lines had been broken with like burn or scorch marks.
All right, I was wondering if I could just copy down the runes of that circle of protection on a piece of paper or something.
So you're going back in there to study the circle of protection, copy the runes down. Okay.
Because and then check it and see if it's the same powder that made, like if this is a component to a circle of protection is what I'm theorizing.
Just because you're going to be in there studying, I'll go ahead and say that you notice the runes are of very similar design. So probably the same hand who made the runes on the floor, at least got the rune ideas from the same place. So the runes are very similar to the floor and the box.
All right, cool.
Akage, who do you hand the are you going to open the vellum yourself, or are you going to hand that off to somebody?
No, I'll go to that desk with the lamp on it.
Okay.
There was like a writing desk, right?
Yeah, in his bedroom, or
Yes.
Okay.
Right there by the trap door.
Yeah.
And turn the light on. I found what appears to be a book, and I will unwrap the vellum.
Okay.
Is there anything written on the vellum?
There is indeed something written on the inside of the vellum. So as you unwrap it and go to move the book, you can see kind of a note written on the inside of the vellum that just says, I am Father Solomon. If it be not my eyes to read this, then I have failed. I only hope your eyes are ready and your heart pure. This beautiful city has been my home since birth. The late Lord Cromwell, my king, and now his son, they boast of a safe, free city, but I've learned better. It has dark corners, ones the king would want to keep hidden. I don't blame him, but I can't sit idly by and wait. I've gone out at night to investigate these evils and found them to be powerful, so my tactics changed. The city doesn't allow its citizens access to magic weapons, but we will need them. I have stolen from nobles and thieves alike. The bounty of these sins hidden outside of town, so that one day, when the need to arm the citizens of Yharnam arises, I can deliver them protection. Desna protects. She has put me on this path. I have no regrets.
Well, I guess we should just run on out there and get the treasure. It's just outside the city. If the priest could get there, surely we could.
And
I believe the honorable thing to do would be to inform Master Task of this.
I don't want to know what's at the end of this sewer.
I agree. If it's armament meant for the city, It's
Well-
the order, right? That we're
I-
a member of.
How about everybody give me a wisdom check? Are you sharing what you read with the group?
Yes, I will read it aloud.
Okay, yeah, then everybody give me a wisdom check.
I don't think we should
Oh,
go
wow.
outside the city per se, but perhaps maybe see where it goes.
Wisdom.
So that's a 14.
I got an 8. I rolled a 5.
18.
I also rolled a 5, but I got a 6.
Okay. So
Three.
Razbad and Cullen, you two with the discussion going around as a group, kind of think that maybe this access to the sewers was something that Father Solman used to get around town. To heist, basically, from nobles and thieves alike, as he says in his notes. Not to say that you shouldn't explore them, because it looks like that was his last place that he came from, the sewers, before he died. But that seemed like why the access is down there was for him to secretly get around town at night.
It's possibly a good way for us to get around town without being seen by the protectorate and
Yep, could
whatnot. Whatnot, although it does smell bad.
I was gonna say, how sewery is this sewer?
be. It is very sewery. I believe the description included doo-doo water flowing constantly through the middle.
Oy.
Yeah, it's
Believe
definitely gray water.
Yeah.
Razbad smells better than down there. He just smells like molten metal.
Yeah, that is mostly due to the soap that I gave him. You
Hmm.
smelled a little bit of that hint of that. Plus, that got kind of, I guess, whenever he was being swallowed, it kind of got lathered up and sudsed a little bit, kind of.
If we choose the sewer, we're gonna need more of that soap.
That's why it was so easy to slip out. Is that soap?
Whoop. It's that +2 to escape artist. Soap.
So after you guys discuss a little bit about what to do, or what you're going to do with this information, there's a knock on the door.
A knock on the door from the sewer that we had closed, or a knock on the door from like up in the
entrance
house?
to the father's home.
Yep. So, quick, everybody in the sewer.
We are expecting Task to join us. So I go.
Why would he knock? Okay,
Because you latched the door behind you when you came in.
that
Yep.
was smart.
Brr.
That's true. And a bad guy wouldn't knock, so it's probably a legitimate person or a Jehovah's Witness or a Desna witness.
Those
I unlatch the door.
Okay. And you creak it open to two children screaming the news at you. No, I'm just-
Oh!
Rabbit punch.
This
Roll for
just in,
initiative.
the sewer system sucks. I don't- But no, it
Or
is
it's
indeed
rats in the
it is
sewer.
indeed Task and his companion dog. As you creak the door open, he kind of stiff arms it open and makes his way in real quick. The dog close at heel, and then he closes the door behind him. He
We
looks
were
up calmly at you, Kage, and goes, "So, how's the investigation going?"
The priest is dead,
Kind of figured that.
and he is now dead again. Come, I will show you.
So, as Akage makes his way back into the bedroom and Task comes in and takes in the scene, mainly, even though Razbad has been healed most of the way, his clothes and armor are probably still covered in blood and gore. He gives you a kind of a shocked expression, and then over at the father, you see his Task expression kind of darken. I didn't know the man well, but I knew him to be a good man. This is terrible. I led the protectorate away, obviously. Made my way back here the long way around, but have you uncovered anything else in the father's possessions? Help us light some... What happened here?
We have
Yes.
found that
He was a thief, and I hand him the book.
the
Will you
priest
call the
was-
father a thief and hand him the book?
Yep, I say he was a thief, and I hand Task the book.
Takes the book that's large to him and looks it over, and he starts to go through the what the happened to Noob?
What are you
Jesus,
doing,
man.
noob?
Oh, he keeps trying to call me.
Well, you fix that.
Yeah.
So he takes the book from you and begins to rifle through the papers, and a lot of this makes no sense to me. It's written in some kind of strange code. Did y'all find anything else? I mean, the note
I'll-
you can read that was on top, but the insides of the book are written in a strange.
Yeah, I'll show him the journals that we collected earlier,
Okay.
and agree that it is written in the code, but Colin believes that with time he could break the code.
That's right. I remember doing that.
I believe
Sorta.
I believe Matt should start re-listening to the episodes right before we record the new ones, so his sober self can remember what his drunk self did.
Yes, I agree.
Good plan.
Probably not a bad idea.
Well, yeah, Colin, you last time you decided, or you got a good enough linguistics check to
That's right.
not quite decipher what it was, but you knew that you could break the decipher with some Tom studied.
Sounds good. So I'll
Something
tell
you,
I'll tell Taz that and say I definitely should probably spend some time studying that. I could even do that at my normal job. Actually, that's probably not a good idea.
I will lead him to the circle of protection.
okay.
We found this, and as I step into it,
Very powerful circle of protection. I've not seen one of this making. Well, I was very, very young the last time I saw anything like this. And he kind of gets down on one knee next to the circle and rubs the runes a little bit. He doesn't seem afraid of it at all.
I'll show him the box too. It's like seeing something in common.
Okay.
Yes.
The wood here is unique to the island, at least. That's strange. And then he opens, or that's not strange. And he opens the box and looks on the inside, dips his fingers into this powdery substance and rubs it. And you can see a little bit of like paper cut blood come out, and he goes, "Ooh, it's sharp." He closes
It's
the
little
box back.
I asked him, what is it?
That's good cocaine. The finest glass in all of Yana. Everybody bring the pipes.
Magic's illegal, not drugs, losers.
We got this brand new empty house that we can do drugs in.
We just push the dead body down into the sewer. We've got all this room.
But no, it's as you kind of suspected as well. It's like glass powder or crystal powder or something, but it looks finely broken up, but it's also got some rough pieces in there too, enough to give you like a small glass paper cut if you were to really rub it in to your skin.
Can I do an appraise on it to see if it's anything valuable?
You could give me did anybody end up tweaking their stuff to get knowledge local?
I did not. Cullen would not take interest in those things.
No.
No, I didn't take local.
Knowledge geography?
Mm-mm.
I've got
Arcana?
nature or history.
I didn't change any of my skills.
You can give me nature.
Nature works. I've got nature.
Good, because I got a 12.
Yeah, okay.
4. I rolled a
beat me.
4.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, so
Oh.
this is beyond your knowledge as to what this could be.
But the good thing is that our good friend Task here knows.
I will roll to
Exactly.
see if he knows.
He should. He's local.
He rolled a 17.
Yeah, he knows all the
He
things.
knows.
He goes, "This looks very similar to the powder where they, back when mining was still really heavy in the town here, the factories that mined the unique crystals that come out of the mountain used to have a lot of this type of powder around them. I don't know if this is the exact same, but looks like it could be one of the unique crystals from the mines here, but just the powder of it. It's very strange that this would be in a box."
Would you mind if I head on to it?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I would normally say maybe these kind of things could go to the deceased family, but he didn't have any family here aside from the people I guess he would consider his congregation.
What's the best way of getting rid of this circle? We can't leave it here.
Well, with the father gone, we'll have some time to get rid of it. Circles of protection aren't really a big naysay here in Yarnum, but they definitely don't instill confidence that our house would come equipped with one. So we'll have other members come in here and basically take away the floorboards before the house is cleaned and ready to be sold to someone else. We still have to figure out how to break the news to what happened to the father and why he's no longer with us. Turning into a big mutated corpse doesn't seem like it would go over well in the local news.
Yeah, we'll probably come up with something else.
He slipped and fell and knocked his head.
We'll also have to do something about that trap door leading to the sewers. Can't have that either.
Well, that's a good
Well.
place to put some more floorboards, right?
Or we could make this a base of operations.
Yes, I was gonna suggest just that. Why couldn't we keep it? We could buy it.
May I suggest that perhaps the father went on a maybe a short, medium, long-term sabbatical, and
Maybe it would just be better to say the father had a health issue. He was an older man, yes?
see, that wouldn't be a lie. He did have a health issue,
Yes.
dying
his-
pretty unhealthy.
He had issues with his chest.
I'm not
bring
laughing
up a
at that.
very valid point, though. This could be a nice meeting spot for the new members here.
May I?
And
Then we
this-
will not be seen inside the taverns together. And the tunnels underneath would let us traverse the city without worrying about the protectorate.
True.
We'd have to divert the flow of the city sewage from these particular lines. Raz
Or
doesn't
you
care.
can just be an adult about it.
Yeah,
suck it
adults
up.
don't like to
Ooh,
walk
that
around
was
in shit.
That was a burn from the kid.
Do you know how much these pants cost?
He says it with a big smile and politely.
If it's my understanding, before you continue your bickering,
Children.
one of you is for sure in need of a home. I believe it is Cullen. Cullen, you just live in a room above the Brazen Bee currently, correct?
That's by choice. That place is amazing.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
it's up to you to
a nice
decide
house
who-
would be fine.
Who would like to make this their residence? This obviously won't happen tomorrow.
Night.
We will need
Yeah.
time to spread the news of the father's passing, and then certain papers will be signed, things will be purchased. Of course, this will all be done with the order. I'll just need one of your signatures as the new homeowner of this establishment.
I would be fine to do that since my rent is paid daily, and it all depends on how much Miss B likes me that day. So sometimes it's low.
Well, it's settled then. I suppose we could wait here for another hour or so, and then make our way back to. We could all make our way back to our proper homes for a day of rest.
And just so you guys know, just for thanks and clearing out my new home, your rent here is gonna be really, really cheap. I'm gonna make you a good deal.
Could I take the body back
Man.
with me?
You can't take. I don't think we can carry that thing through the streets. I mean, it doesn't look.
We can wrap it in a death shroud and easily carry it through the street.
If you wait till morning, it would be Amon's kind of gig to have a corpse and taking it to the morgue.
Yeah, I mean, can we? Is it in such a condition? Because I know it kind of changed. Is it in a condition where we could cover it up? It would appear human in some way. I mean, would it still appear like a human corpse?
It would need to be very much covered up, like it's
Yeah, we'll
fairly
fully
obvious.
wrap it and
Yep.
in, you know.
Don't worry, this is a closed casket anyway.
Okay.
So where we're at with this part of the adventure is you've got Cullen, who's going to eventually take over this part of the home, or take over this home for himself. You've got the sewers that you might want to investigate to learn paths and stuff for.
Once again, Cullen's got the books to decipher, because Tass does give him the books to decipher the code. And then Amon is going to be headed back to the mortuary with the father's body. And the rest of you will have the day to take off or to open your respective businesses. So we'll get into that then. So Cullen's kind of taken care of. Amon, you're heading to the morgue with the body. Razbad, what do you do once this night's adventure has kind of come to a close? What is your next day? What is it that you want to do?
Well, if I'm not needed at the shop, once I take care of my normal duties there, if we have permission to use the father's house, I'll begin mapping the sewers.
Well, it'll take a few days before it would be okay for you to be going in and out of that place.
Okay. Well, then
you went to the father's house at midnight. So like you worked the whole day previously. Then at midnight you went to the father's house, had that battle, basically had to wait till almost morning, and now you've just gone home. So like I see it like you probably do a few things that morning, and then you probably crash for the day. Sonder, what is your next day ritual? Is it something similar to Razbad, or do you open up shop and just power through with your business?
Oh, I open up the shop, man. Gotta make that money. Gotta make that money. Take some time, look at the mask, see what it's all about, see if I can learn anything more about that.
Oh, the mask. That's right. Did y'all give the mask a task, though?
No.
Didn't mention it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't
He didn't
volunteer
ask.
information, and he didn't ask. So.
Okay. So Sonder held on to the mask.
Yes. I leave it in the back room with some of my other curiosities that I have back there.
Mm-hmm. Give me a fortitude save.
Oh shit.
Oh, my internet connection is unstable. It says unstable.
Okay, so I don't know how much of that I lost.
Well, she just asked if it was a poison or a disease that she's saving from.
Oh no, just give me a generic fortitude save. This is because you haven't slept and you're open. You're
okay.
Going into
that's 16.
Okay, so you're able to power through. Maybe you've got some energy drink. I don't know what Yarnum's version of Red Bull is or whatever, but
I mix up something.
Mix up a little something, and you make it through. You make it through the next day.
Cocaine.
Running your business.
Cocaine.
Akage, you get cocaine. Akage, you get home early in the morning. You realize as you come through the door that your mother is actually still downstairs in the living room. Oh, how was your first night?
It was horrifying.
Give me a will save.
She's about to hit you with the fork.
Out of the box. 8.
Okay.
Unless this is for
Terrifying
fear.
mouth.
Is it for fear?
Not really. This is a flavor will save. As your mother is talking, as you responded that it was a horrifying night, your mother's face peels open. The skin stretches from the skull, and tentacles and teeth begin to shoot out of her head, and they encompass your head. You then wake up in a cold sweat.
Oh.
You had a horrible nightmare because of what happened at the father's house.
You should have said roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
I thought you were going to make me kill my mother.
No.
It's never been your mother.
So if that affects, well, I wouldn't go back to sleep after that. So
right, yeah. The Phil will save is that you will be fatigued the following day.
Ouch.
But I'll power through and get my start my jazz, my chores and my
Dig
calligraphy.
is what? -2s?
Yeah. Amon, Nakari, when you get back to the mortuary with the corpse, what is it that you do first? Like, do you immediately get to work on the corpse, or do you go ahead and like kind of put it in the cooler and take the day to yourself? Or
I'll probably I need to get some rest first of all.
okay,
So I'll probably stick it in the cooler, put a lock on that cooler specifically.
okay,
And then when he wakes up, dismember it brutally.
Yeah, essentially start putting everything back in there.
give me a will save.
That is 12. Does 12 win?
Only because you've been because of your profession. I'm giving you a little leeway on that save there. Seeing bodies and things like this and things that are from your past as well. You were able to, it's not a beautiful sleep. It's a little bit fitful, but you are able to get rested and begin work on the father's corpse the next day. Cullen, how about you? Do you go home and go straight to bed, or do you start jumping on
No, I'm going to
decipher the
sleep.
code?
I'm going to sleep.
All right. Give me a
Gotta
will
get-
save.
I gotta get 8 hours. And that's a nat 20.
Okay. You
Which
sleep
is a
like
nat
a
20.
fucking baby.
Yeah.
You were able to, just before you go to sleep, take all the horrible shit you've seen tonight and just put it in a little box and throw it in the back of your brain, and then you sleep thinking about
That's
all
pretty
those
much.
random juices that hit your face.
Yep,
Just
that's
take
pretty
photos.
much that's pretty much in character of Cullen. He's seen some shit and doesn't remember any of it.
Just take all those hard emotions and bad memories and shove them into a box and ram them all the way down.
That's it's not the chat room for that, Frakes.
No, what you really do, you take all those bad things and you pack them into a little pill. You take that pill
See,
and
see what you did?
chase it down with a good drink of beer.
Cheers to that.
It's homebrew therapy. It's great.
What you do is you put it in a bottle and you put that bottle on a shelf. And essentially you keep putting bottles on the shelf until that shelf breaks, and then you have to deal with it. That's one.
So we're going to time travel a little here and say that several days have passed.
That works.
Cullen, you have eventually moved into the father's home.
Yeah.
The rest of you have kind of gotten back into your normal day-to-day lives because the order hasn't asked anything of you. About once a day, Tass will stop by to see if Cullen has broken the code. Give me a linguistics check.
All right.
Ed, you wasted that 20.
I don't know shit. Well, you know, I just rolled another one.
Did you really?
I really did. That's a 26. Nice.
So where you thought it would take you a few days, you're actually able to do it in 2. You've broken the code. Now the journals that you got from the first room are mostly just full of the code is telling you people's names and stuff. And by people's names, it's the halfling that owns the bakery down the street is having husband troubles, or the dwarf fisherman up the block cheated on so and so, or so and so is having money trouble. So that's a lot of like local knowledge stuff that I think you as a character wouldn't care too much about.
Nope.
But that's what
Not
those
me.
were.
The burn book. The father was a mean girl.
But that stuff wasn't the encoded part, right?
That stuff was encoded in a sense where it was talking about their problems, but you didn't know who they were talking about specifically.
Oh, okay.
So you used that to break the code, and the code basically gave up names and more precise stuff that he would want hidden from general eyes that might have gotten a hold of these journals to
That
keep
makes sense.
their problems.
Their
secret.
privacy.
Yeah.
Right.
The main journal, however, that's where you get into some of the juicy stuff. There's a very descriptive passage about where the search for his hidden trove starts, and it's west of the city of Yarnum. It would be there's a wooded area out that way. There's not much woods on this island, but there is a thick, dense kind of small forest section along the mountains just before you get back to the coast on the other side of the island.
Is that would that be close to or in proximity of where the mines were?
The
I'm just
mines
asking
actually
because of the
on
powder.
so the mines there's the main island that you're on now, which is where Yarnum the city is.
Hmm.
And that city is next to a small mountain range that is still being mined slowly. The big mines were on the two separate islands out off the coast. So there's the two smaller islands where that most of the heavy mining used to happen, and that's why they call it the Hollow Isles there now, is because they're basically big hollow rocks.
I've been stripped out. But Task seemed to think that the powder in that little box, he seemed to indicate more so that it would come from one of those older mines, correct? Not the one that's
One of the older foundries that used to basically shape the gems and stuff as they came out of the
okay.
mines. That stuff would have
Gotcha.
been in town.
Okay.
But yeah, the journal gives you indications of that. It also has information on like people that he's stolen things from. Some of them are you don't have the knowledge local, so a lot of these nobles that information kind of passes over your head. The thieves that he's stolen it from, that kind of passes over your head. Maybe some of the things of note would be like the types of things that he's stolen, and it's magical weapons, magical arms, some wondrous items that he's collected over the years. And a lot of the journal is just him hammering home the fact that he believes something very evil will one day arise in the city, and it would be his destiny and duty to make sure that the citizens had protection and that he was there to protect them. So he's been almost manically, like every night, going out and trying to track down and steal these artifacts for protection and stuff, so that one day he could be the savior of the town. And you get kind of the sense that he'd almost gone mad from it, like the incessant need of like more powerful magics for protection, more powerful magics for protection. And it gets to the last bit where he's talking about he doesn't write down who it is, but his next big mark has a box of power. But he fears that it's been misrepresented and that it might be a cursed item. And this is the first time that he's not stealing for protection or he's not stealing to get a powerful magical item for protection. He's hoping to steal this to get it out of the city. That whatever that box holds, he feels will be like the tipping point for some great evil. He just mentions as her. She can't come back. Her evil, her will cannot be done. And that's the last passage in the book.
That's the last one in the book. So I mean, and is there anything to indicate that perhaps that small box that we have could have been the box of power he was referring to?
Yeah, it strongly suggests that.
So possibly, since we did not detect any magic on that box, correct?
You did not.
So whatever was possibly in there, it's possible that it's not in there anymore, obviously.
Right.
Okay.
That's probably what turned him into what it turned him into, that chest mouth creature.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm deducing with my incredible intellect. Okay. So I will is it pretty clear? Does it indicate who he stole the box from? Because that seems like a good place to follow.
That's the one person that it doesn't mention the specific name of who he's stealing that from. So with this information, are you going to tell Task? Are you going to pull the party back together and inform them of what you've learned first to make a decision?
Well, I feel like if we're going to be a team, that should probably, and obviously we all have our own interests. I didn't pick up from anybody a total devotion, except for maybe Akage, a total devotion to the order. I don't make any bones about that. I'm basically here for self-preservation. Not that I'm not going to do my best, but
right.
I don't, it's not really interesting to me to act like I'm here for the cause, in other words. But so I will, I'll definitely try to get in touch with my peeps. Where, how do I do that, by the way? Everybody got a comm?
Yeah, you
Wrong
just
game.
give him a phone call. It's no big deal. Fine.
Yeah, break out your cell, yo.
Folks,
There's
they,
plenty of-
you know.
Don't even bother calling. Shoot me a text.
There's plenty of orphans. Just send an orphan.
So
Yeah,
the same,
so-
we could say the same kids that run around telling the news are also like local, you know,
Messenger service.
yeah, messenger service. Here's a fucking copper keys, kid. Go tell
Yeah.
Akage at the so and so house to meet me at so and so. You know, so
Yeah. Well, I'll.
Don't, here, send this message copper on delivery. Let him know he'll pay for it.
do you accept the charges?
Actually, he'll pay you too.
Yeah.
That's a collect call.
That's
You want to send
hilarious.
this message collect?
You have a message from Hakage, get to the house. Do you wish to accept? Oh, decline.
Oh, collect
Oh, I
call.
don't want to fuck that bitch.
I've done that before though. That was
So
back
have I.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Real quick. Real quick.
Well,
Got like 3
baby, it's
seconds.
a boy.
Yeah, I haven't made it some more.
Mom, I'm at Eckerd's. Come pick me up.
You send out messengers, and on the third day, the team meets at what was Father Solman's house. It's been cleaned. News has started to get out that the father's passed, and that a local guy has taken his opportunity to purchase the home. So he's having, maybe a housewarming party or something as well. These people are coming over. Who
We'll get
knows?
together, show
Did
off
you
my
hear?
new.
The new guy killed the father and stole his house.
Let's start spreading those rumors.
Terrible.
So I want
Terrible.
to pause. I gotta pause the game here because I ate too many chicken wings.
So I'm gonna drink beer on now.
trying to think of a
Yes.
good way to end this episode so that we can. We'll see you next
Oh.
time.